At the end of 2024, I achieved one of my life objectives, which was to set myself free out of working or have to work on the regular 9 to 5. And the moment I did it, I just got extremely happy. It was very fulfilling. And honestly, I was not predicting that would be as fast as it was. So I was really glad. And all that I wanted was to enjoy the moment and celebrate. But passing a couple of days after the achievement and after enjoying the first days of true freedom, in which I could essentially do what I choose to in my daily life, I quickly realized that I was as happy as I used to be before. So I got puzzled around what happened, because if I reach one of my main goals in life, why wouldn't I be so much happier? I really thought that it was about the goal. And then I couldn't understand why I was feeling exactly as fulfilled and happy as I was before. So I start to make a lot of questions to myself and ask a lot of whys to why was I feeling as fulfilled as ever if I just got to reach what I thought would make me truly happy and free, because I was truly free. And that was my number one priority, to achieve freedom in life, to be able to do what I choose to, and to sustain myself forever virtually through the way that I manage my businesses. So, after I spent some time around this, trying to understand what was going on, I got to the conclusion that essentially I just got it all wrong. I thought we were here, just like most people believe, to fulfill our personal goals, and that's it. And that would make you happy, that would make you fulfilled. But then I got to realize this story here, in which everyone is just doing their own thing, trying to fulfill their own dreams and wishes on just a personal level without really thinking about the others that much. This was the lie that we were told. This is not true at all. And I came to understand by the success of people that were working directly with me and just enjoying their own stories and their own obstacles to be conquered by themselves. I understood that this was never about us just individually, but about everyone. And thank thankfully to that, I understood that what brings me true truth fulfillment, what really makes me extremely happy, is to see each and every single day that I can make someone to smile, someone to thank me, not because I wanted to be thanked, but the thank for myself, like if someone thanks me, I feel that I have done my part, which is to provide assistance to everyone and empower everyone in their own journey to fulfill their own dreams. And this is what really makes me shine every day. This is the light that I was looking for. It was just not my own, it was everyone's light, everyone's shining in their own way by achieving what they truly wish to achieve, by having people just so happy, sometimes crying in joy and hugging me because they were able to achieve something that they kinda thought they would never, and they just reached me out, and I was working with them on daily basis, showing them they could do it because everyone can achieve whatever they dream about. I would never say to anyone, for as big of a dream you may have, I would never say that you couldn't do it because I understand that everything we dream, it means it's a vision of our future. And this is something that I got to understand going deep into how the world really works. Our dreams, our desires, they're not accidents. They don't happen because we're just thinking too big or out of our own minds, thinking in ways that we shouldn't. In fact, it's the opposite. Everything you dream is showing you a potential future in which you can tap. So, it's important to understand time doesn't really work the way we perceive it. Time doesn't really work on a linear fashion. We perceive it this way because it's the way we live life on the standardized situation. But in fact, as you may understand if you go into quantum physics, which is recently discovered a lot of things about how reality works and how the world works. And this is including time itself. Essentially, time is a multi-dimension space. You have past, present, and future happening at the same time, all together, in different realms that are, I don't know if you can call it realms or dimensions. I don't know exactly the words. But what matters is they're happening all at once. And even if you don't feel like this is true, let me give you an example to prove it. And it's really simple. If you have a trauma, that trauma will make you trigger a memory of your past. In the moment you think about the trauma, you are living an experience that already happened. But the truth is, because your mind is focused on that, you are reliving the experience. So, in fact, you may notice that if the trauma makes you have fear or feel certain emotions, you realize that you are living the experience again the moment you think about it. If you have a dream in which you are truly rich, you are extremely happy with the life of your dreams, with the ones that you really care about, you feel all of it in this very moment, which means you're living it. We must understand that we are truly fulfilled not by the experience of life in which you are, but by the feelings that are being triggered at the present moment, at the now. If you are on vacations and you are extremely upset, you will feel like you're not even there. It's almost like you are, or you could be in every place. Because if you are upset and you remain like that, it doesn't matter where you are. It only matters how you feel. If you feel extremely happy and fulfilled, doesn't matter if you are on vacations, doesn't matter if you are working. It really doesn't matter. What matters is what you feel. So, what is real? What is the experience? What really matters is not the experience itself. It's not the place in which you are outside. It's the place in which you are inside. It's what you are feeling that truly matters. That difference is everything. And once we understand that what matters is the feelings, you can essentially be in any point, any location in the world. And if right now you are very fulfilled and happy and extremely glad with life itself, it's all that you really need because you are complete by feeling like that. So it's all about the feelings. And yes, this is how time really works. Now you may understand. If you think about a trauma, you just instantly go to the past because that experience already happened. But you are living it, which means you are there. If you have a dream, it's probably, if it didn't happen yet, it's probably a potential future for you, which means if you guide yourself towards that life that you saw in the dream by leaning into your heart, into what you feel that you should do, you naturally will end up there. Because what happens is the heart will guide you by intuition naturally to build yourself up to reach the dream state, the reality that you saw on the dream. This is not an accident. This is not a delusion. And I can promise you that because I achieved everything that I ever dreamed, and I can even tell you more. After I realized that for us to truly tap into our best potential life, the life that is even better than what you can even imagine, you cannot use the brain because the brain works on a pattern recognition. The brain tends to trigger you to tell you what to do based off what you are doing and you have done recently. Which means the brain has an operational system within itself that will, in a way, create a reality based off what it believes it's possible. Not really everything that may open up for you. So the brain can only tell you or create or help you to achieve as good life as you are perceiving at the moment. But the heart can guide you to a life that you cannot imagine to exist for you. But it doesn't mean that it's not there. If the heart guides you to a place or to a location or to people, because the heart will tell you, the heart will guide you to whatever you have to go or be or stay. And the heart will literally bind people to you that are supposed to come. You don't have to search for anyone. You don't have to try to have friends that can comprehend you or understand you in any way. They will come to you naturally by just natural law, the law of attraction. Because the essence of the world itself is energy. If we think about the world, the material world in which we are, everything is made of atoms, particles, and those things are essentially composition that integrates light itself. Light, which is essentially particles that can either go to particle state or wave state. That's the essential, the essence of everything, including our bodies, including all that is around you. Everything, even the hair, is the same essence, is particles, is waves, is both. And it's a quantum world. It's a world that is not materialized. It's not defined in a state till it is perceived by the mind. The mind is a trigger that actually creates a structure that is perceived by yourself, by everyone. And that's, again, proved by quantum physics. It's scientifically proven. And let me tell you something else. These things that are just recently proven by science were already discovered a long, long time ago by the most amazing geniuses that lived in our planet, such as Leonardo da Vinci, such as Newton, Einstein. What is happening now is the scientific community is actually catching up to understand things that they already have presented in their own researches. However, because we couldn't understand, couldn't translate the information that was being presented, we didn't got there yet. We just achieved recently what they already discovered ages ago. And the reason is because we are so binded into science in today's life that in a way we have this feeling of trying to explain everything through logic pattern of acknowledging information. So whatever we cannot logically explain, which is processes from the brain, we tend to discard and dismiss. But the world is not all about logic. The heart doesn't guide you through logic. There's things that start to occur to you once you just live by being guided through your heart. And you start to see that not in the present. In the present, you see things happening to you or for you because everything happens for us for a reason. And we chose all of that. And in the present, you may not recognize why certain things happen. But passing out in time, if you look backwards, you start to see all the connections that you couldn't see before. Imagine what it is. The world works like this. If you're guiding yourself through heart, essentially each day you're having a piece of a big puzzle, one by one, just coming to you. And at the beginning, you just see separate puzzle pieces. They don't even combine together. But as the pieces come more and more and they add up to each other, you start to look at the whole picture that is forming. And all of a sudden, you see the whole construction of the puzzle itself when you look backwards. And now, the pieces that were separated are just being binded by natural connection that you can just make. And all of a sudden, you start to see the whole picture of the puzzle itself. Everything connects, everything makes sense. And you see that everything in your life happened for a reason. It was predestined to occur. You just didn't know it. So, this is another aspect of life here. We come here from other lives, other dimensional spaces. And you can see that this is true by, again, going deep into quantum physics, in which they prove that there's multiple dimensional spaces. And so we chose, before we came here, how we want to set our lives to be and how would things play out. But because you don't want to play a game in which you already know everything about it, before you come again, you choose to forget it. So, in a way, this is a game. In a way, this is real. This is a experience we chose to have the most fulfilling one for us. We came to enjoy, to have fun, to thrive, to prosper, to grow, to expand, and to understand by the illusion of separation, by the illusion of thinking that we are here just by ourselves. We came to learn that everything matters, everything is connected. We're all the same. That's why other people joy, other people being fulfilled around you, other people telling you thank you, hugging you, showing you love. That's why that matters so much. Because we are not separated from one another, ever. That's why the good people that come to you adds up to you, makes you feel better. You cannot have a bad day if throughout the course of a day you get people coming to you, smiling to you, telling you how thankful they are for living life with you, sharing a meal with you, being happy around you. You cannot be in a normal experience if you go through life like this. It's not possible. And everything is possible. Which is interestingly paradoxical, but it's true. Everything is possible. as long as you believe on it. Because the moment you don't believe on something, you are essentially limiting yourself from achieving something because you're just choosing not to believe on it. So, whatever you believe, it becomes. I would say, rather choose to believe everything's possible, life can be amazing and way better than what we have or imagined to occur. Because if you lean into your heart and you play life like the game that it is, you are on the paradise forever. I can promise you. Because I got to this state by accident. I was not seeing this old reality as it is. And I could only tap into it by keep learning through my life experience and effectively understand how things truly work. And the way we learn how it works is by making all the possibilities and choices that you can imagine and seeing them falling all by one. And then after everything falls from you trying to control life, thinking about how it should be, that's when you open up your heart and you say, I give up on trying on my own, thinking what's better for me. I open my heart and I shall let it flow. I don't know what is going to happen, but I trust that there's something beyond me that understands better the path that I choose or I would take moving forward. And as long as you play life like this, you will always be surprised each and every single day, minute by minute, second by second. Life is beautiful and magical. And the more you believe on it, the more it becomes. And we are on a stage set in which the world's changing. The world is effectively figuring this out by itself. Everything is. All the people in the world, the planets, the creatures, because everything is entangled and connected. And so, as one realizes this, it magnetizes others to start to do the same and understand there's a way better than the way I ever thought it would be or it could be. And once we choose to tap into this, we start to see magic unfolding. And it's inexplicable. It's not even possible for us to imagine such an amazing life. Because if you go back in time, no one could predict what already happened. And in the place we are today, looking a few years ago, maybe 30 or 40 or 50, most people could not predict how the world will transform. And this means we will always be like this. You can never predict. But if you accept to concede the counsel to the heart The heart will play all the keys in its perfect time, on its perfect way, and you clear the game without even trying. You go from the hardest game, that is this one with the brain, from an easy flow through an autopilot life that is guided not through the brain but through the heart. You just have to choose to pursue what you feel that you should, and remove all of your fears and limitations. Just let it flow, and you will see magic happen.